Good evening, gentle viewer. Yes, I know it looks like I've been on a hiatus, but I'm back. I've been back, but I just haven't published the videos that I made while you thought I was gone. I think I'll put those up on the website, www.ashamed2bblack. And that's the number 2, ashamed, the number 2, BEBLACK.com. Check that shit out. Because that auto renewal feature, well, it fucked me over. So I'm just auto renewed for another year. It's probably gonna let that shit go. But I got money, so what the fuck do I care? Wanna know who else might have had some money? Andrew Finch. But if he didn't have money before, his family's likely, well, shit. If I say his family's likely to have some money now. And they probably still will. But it's for the most fucked up reason one could think of. It's because Andrew Finch is no longer with us. And he's no longer with us because of some fucking troll, some cowardly piece of shit sitting behind a computer screen playing Call of Duty. Decided to talk shit to somebody, gave them a phony address. But unless you double check and that address leads to the damn junkyard or that address does not exist, that shit can have dire consequences. Now, I hadn't heard of swatting until I watched Dormtainment. You can find them here on YouTube as well. Apparently, go fucking around and send the SWAT team to somebody's house and shit over some bullshit that you just make up. You know, help, somebody's being raped at 123 Easy Street in Kalamazoo, Missouri. And then they go down there, knock on some unsuspecting motherfucker's door, or maybe somebody you just don't like. Drag him out the house. Go search his house, and what do you know? Maybe that's the drug dealer who was stealing all of your business. And now they found drugs in the house because they were operating in good faith. They're believing, and they as well they should, the information that came through on that 911 line. And so they can enter your home. They can search your shit. And whatever they find, even though, well, the search shouldn't have taken place in the first place because it was a fucking lie, anything they find that's illegal can be used against you in a court of law later on. That is, should you survive the incident. Now, unfortunately, Andrew Finch didn't. Now, let me tell you something. Because here, I got it right here on the teleprompter. SWAT. Transitive verb. To hit with a sharp slapping blow, usually with an instrument. Well, a bullet's an instrument, and you play it with a gun. Now, I'm going to show you the aftermath. So, let me just tell you first. 2 motherfuckers or more playing the game on UMG gaming tournament type shit. So it was through a company playing Call of Duty. Some shit went down. Dude gave a phony address to his antagonist. I guess we'll call him his enemy, whatever the fuck you want to call him. Then, once he gave that address, the other dumb motherfucker sent the SWAT team over to that phony address talking about it was a hostage situation. Someone had been accidentally shot and there were 3 hostages in the house. So SWAT's milling about outside Andrew Finch's house. He opens up the door. What the fuck is going on out here? And you'll hear from his let's see. Is that his mother? I think it could have been. Because she actually saw the lights. But if you didn't call the police and ain't shit going on in your house, you just might want to go and see what's happening across the street next door or whatever. And when he opened the door, SWAT was already there, and they allege that he reached into his waistband and then they popped his ass. Now apparently he was still alive for a minute, because then, what I tell you about that, they made everybody come up out the damn house. Even the niece. Okay, I know your uncle's dying right there, but just one step over, then the other step over, keep walking over to me, hands behind you, up in the air, and just whatever the fuck else. And only after they were all secured, allegedly, did they call the ambulance. That's the story. Now let me let you listen to the mom, because it's been about 5.5 minutes. Have a listen.
I had seen the red and blue lights flashing in my window. I heard my son scream. I got up, and then I heard a shot. And as I was walking by, this door was open. The police said, "Come out with your hands up." They took me, my roommate, and my granddaughter, who witnessed the shooting and had to step over her dying uncle's body, to come. They took us outside with no shoes on. They handcuffed us. You know, why couldn't they? Yeah, they didn't call the ambulance until after he was dead. And what gives the cops the right to open fire? Why didn't they give him the same warning they gave us? I mean, that cop murdered my son over a false report in the first place. Yeah, Andy, my son was not a gamer. He was not a gamer. And they did tell me a message that had come across that said, "Come to 1033 West McCormick. I'll be there." You know, somebody was telling him. And there is, they call it swatting. Are you familiar with that term? I didn't know it was a thing. You can better believe there's going to be some prank phone calls made. Editing? Editing, yeah. No.
So they just knocked on the door and it was...
They didn't knock on the door. My son opened it because he heard something. He screamed and then they shot him. He was unarmed. There were no guns found in this house.
There you go. Let me get some hydration. It's gonna be a long evening. I almost believe that I felt worse at Andrew Finch's murder than she did. Just like I said about black females. Their child is dead. Younger than him. He was 28. He had a chance to live a little bit of a life, you know what I'm saying? Probably didn't even hit the halfway point on what would have been his life. But he was not a teenager. He was not a preteen. And they were like black preteen moms, and they not even crying when their kid or their child was killed. Even though he was grown though. There should still be some sorrow, some grief, something showing. And I know people grieve in different ways, but come on, man. I mean, there was no hesitation in your voice. There was no sniffling. There was nothing. So it really gives me the idea that you didn't care. What you care more about is collector from the police department, which you probably will, was at the KBC lottery, killed by cop lottery. The cop that shot him, of course, administrative duty and all that kind of shit with pay. But they're working with this UMG to try to identify the person who, they should try to identify both of them actually. So not just the caller, but the person that gave the phony address. Even though he can only be charged tangentially, because I give you a phony address, but that doesn't mean you should take your motherfucking ass to that house. And let me read you a couple of the tweets that came through from that motherfucker, because he said the house that he just swatted is on the news. And then in a separate tweet came back and said he's not responsible because he did not shoot anybody. Here we go. I didn't get anyone killed because I didn't discharge a weapon, and being a SWAT member isn't my profession. Sounds like a fucking child to me. Hold on. Proximate cause. And I won't bore you with a whole bunch of the legalese. But basically, just set up some dominoes. Y'all need to set dominoes up in a row and you push that first domino and then the rest of them fall. That's proximate cause. Whatever that first thing was that caused a chain reaction is the thing that is ultimately responsible for that end result. End result being Andrew Finch being dead. The first domino was him calling the police department. So, yes, you fucking moron. You are responsible because you had no business sending the SWAT team to his house and he'd still be alive. He wasn't fucking with anybody. He was minding his own damn business. Father of 2. Minded his own damn business in the house. And he was killed because you didn't have anything better to do. I'd say they really need to lock him up. Or her. 25 to life, 15 to life. I really say 25, fuck it. Because Finch has no life left. But I'm going to hit you with this, and then I'm going to move on. I got a couple more videos I'm going to try to do tonight. But in Kansas law makes some false calls to police a felony that can be punished up to 13 months. Not years, months in jail. Or excuse me, in prison for a first-time offender. Now, in Kansas, it is a misdemeanor to make a false call for emergency, fire, or police services. It's a felony to use an electronic device or software to conceal the caller's identity. And lastly, it's a more severe felony if the call falsely claims to be about violent crime or an immediate danger to a person. And then it goes on to say this, which if it's a fucking the felony can be punished by 13 months. But anyway, while a 13-month prison sentence is possible, the presumed sentence is probation. So he got this man killed. And if it's his first offense, and I keep saying his because we're talking Call of Duty. Call me sexist if you will. But if it's his first offense, he could get probation for causing the death of that man. And even if his family, not only of course will get the deep pockets with the police department, if they successfully sue him for wrongful death, motherfucker's sitting at home playing Call of Duty. And no matter how much money you win in that lawsuit, you're never going to collect that shit from him. Not going to collect a fucking thing. But I still say get that judgment and keep renewing that shit. So that throughout his life, he doesn't have a pot to piss in. That's it, gentle viewer. One of the most fucked up things that you could do to an innocent person is get them killed. I'd say that is the most fucked up. One last thing before I go. Because I just want to tell you what all this is going to lead to. No, not me hydrating more. But it's going to lead to the elimination of your anonymity on the internet. There are certain things, let's see, like Hulu. So if I go to watch Hulu, maybe even Netflix too, and I still am using an anonymous proxy server, then I can't get in, you won't let me watch shit. Say you're using this anonymous shit. We need your IP address or you ain't watching shit. So you'll end up losing your anonymity with more and more companies, apps, features, just whatever. So that they can track your ass down. And even if they say they're not going to give up that information without a subpoena, well, hell, I could go to the courthouse and get a subpoena right now. Because I just make some shit up and then I prove it in court. or just drop the case altogether. But the subpoena Deuces Tekken would have gotten me the documents I was looking for. That's it. That's all, Jennifer. We're now.